It seems that the Pokemon Company International has posted job listings for a director of DEI and social responsibility.
Wokeemon. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon Company International, which is based out of America, if I'm not mistaken, job listings for director of DIE and social responsibility.
And anybody who's been playing Pokemon for the last few years has started to notice that there's been a couple of changes being made to characters, especially the human characters. Overall, they just become a little more androgynous looking. They're not so feminine anymore. Every character essentially looks like a boy. Just one has a wig and one doesn't. Every character essentially looks like a boy. Every character essentially looks like a boy. Every character essentially looks like a boy.
It's like a boy.
And here we go.
What is up, YouTube? My name is RS Mario here, bringing you another Pokemon video. Alright, so this is not really a video that I like to do that much of, like, you know, at least on this channel. My second channel, the Loot Box Hero, is more of my Culture War channel. That's where I do more of my Culture War videos. But sometimes when the Culture War spills over into, you know, stuff like anime or video games that, you know, like Nintendo, I cover it over here because this is where I cover all the anime and Nintendo stuff. And this is definitely one of those videos today. So, you've probably seen the videos because, you know, all the usual suspects have got their dailies out there talking about this topic. But apparently, Pokemon has gone woke again. So, of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, or any of my other videos, like my Overwatch videos, my anime video that's a bit more lighthearted than this, even though it is still full of hatred because I hate One Piece. If you wanna see those videos or that video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, and I will shout you out at this portion of the video. All right, so today we're going to talk about an article that dropped on a couple of Culture War websites, you know, Bounding into Comics, That Park Place, basically talking about the fact that the Pokemon Company International is looking for a DEI manager. Now, before we get into this, all right, the Pokemon's gone woke thing, you know, I just want to explain what woke is and some of the aspects here, okay? So first off, woke is, well, woke originally was a term used in the black community for people who were conscious of the situation of black people. Basically, you knew about the socio-political situations going on with black people in the West. You knew about the two-tier justice system. You knew about the system. You knew about the system, essentially. All right? And that's kind of like the way it was. You know, if you knew about the system and you knew about all, if you were conscious to it, you were a woke black person. Otherwise known as today as capital B black.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black,
Yo! Shut the fuck up!
Okay? Now, it got co-opted, you know what I'm saying, like everything else in our society, by intersectionalism and cultural Marxism. So now, being woke means that you understand and empathize with all of the struggles of all the various oppressed peoples under the flag of intersectionality, identity politics, thus leading to cultural Marxism. Look up Gramsci, all right? I'm just being honest. That's the easiest way to do it, because we'd be here all day if I try to explain it to you. That's basically woke, all right? So DEI, ESG, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff is woke. Now, here's the thing. Just having a diverse character, like having a black character in your, you know, movie or TV show doesn't automatically make it woke. It's the reason you have the black character there. Is this black character there just because they are a character in the story? Then it's not woke. If they are there specifically to be black, if they are there specifically to spout the woes of blackness and black people, if they are there to be some kind of racial foil to another character, 9 times out of 10, that's woke. All right, you're doing it for a reason. The character is not there to be a creative character in the story. They are there to be a socio-political mouthpiece, to voice whatever your ails happen to be with society. So let's get on into it. So an article dropped on, from Park Place, basically entitled, "The Pokemon Company doubles down on wokeness with a job listing for Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Social Responsibility." So, this has been something that has been going on since all the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff and all that kind of stuff. So people have been talking about this like a lot. And so every time a company either has a job listing for one of these, or, one of these people, they find out that the company has a department or whatever, it kind of makes the rounds on all the daily Culture Warrior channels. But they don't really run down the story that much. So, of course, I took the liberty of running it down for you. So, in the article, it says the job listing appears to share the position's roles to discriminate in hiring practices. The job's summary reads, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Responsibility, facilitates and promotes Pokemon Company TPCI, global culture and innovation of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. This role will partner with DEISR team to build diversity, equity, and inclusion and social responsibility initiatives, programs to influence employee engagement, talent acquisition, talent management, charitable community engagement, and marketplace opportunities across our global team to engage and retain talent and foster relationships in local and global communities. So basically, the DEI person does all the woke stuff. They also deal with the different Pokemon Company International entities in different countries, and to make sure they kind of fit whatever those countries happen to be, and make sure that they have talent that also fit those countries. Okay, whatever, that's fine. This role also ensures the core elements of TPCI culture are well-defined and ever-present to employees, highlighting engagement as essential component to support positive, diverse, inclusive, innovative, and high-ranking and high-achieving environment. This position will report to the Vice President, Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, lead the DEISR team, and will partner with stakeholders to operate as an internal business consultant. It concludes, the position is paying between $178,000 to $200,000 for new hires and upwards of $267,000 a year. So basically, an executive salary, a C-suite salary, as it were. So, yeah. So a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, Pokemon is going woke. But what they haven't thought about is that they already have a DEI vice president and chief, DEI officer. So they've had this for a long time now. Like, even back in 2022, they were rolling out, Poke Familia and Poke Niggas and all this other kind of stuff. Like, these different, DEI groups that focus on different aspects of the Pokemon community. So, I mean, they haven't gone woke. They've kind of had this for a while now. And the thing is, this is not a new thing. Just about every publicly traded company in America has a DEI team, okay? All right? And that includes companies that have their core company outside of America. Because, of course, TPCI America answers to TPCI Japan. And TPCI Japan handles all the core aspects of the product. So narrative stuff, characters, all that's handled by TPCI in Japan, which is 50% owned by Nintendo. So a lot of this stuff goes through Japan anyway. So, they're not going to be like, oh, we're going to get a gay main character in a Pokemon game. That's not going to happen unless it goes through Nintendo and TPCI of Japan. All right. So the only thing that this like TPCI of America controls is the elements that happen in America. The little small projects like the Pokemon trading card game animation that I did a video on a little while back. Stuff like that is controlled by TPCI USA, and thus would of course probably have something to do with the DEI team and all these other people. All right, so it's not saying that Pokemon itself is going woke explicitly, but the American company that does Pokemon is definitely going woke. You know what I'm saying? But any type of hardcore changes to Pokemon as far as a narrative goes still goes through Japan. And we all know Japan don't care about that. Japan cares about money. Not to mention, this is basically the model that every Japanese video game company has when it comes to their American subsidiary. I mean, look at Namco. They have a DEI core for their company. Square Enix also does DEI stuff for their American company. Sega is hella DEI for their company in America. They have Sega Pride. They have all types of different stuff that is about DEI when it comes to the company. Same thing with Capcom. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a publicly traded company in America, 7 times out of 10, you're probably going to have a DEI unit. So does that mean that the entire company is gone woke and we can just throw it all to the wind and buy Power World? No. So another thing when it comes to people saying that Pokemon has gone woke, a lot of people seem to talk about some of the character designs from Scarlet and Violet. And I will admit, I have seen the Bulk Lady in Scarlet and Violet, but I've seen some of the other character designs too that seem to kind of play with gender expression a bit. And here's the thing. Is this woke? Yes and no. Because see, you have to remember, Pokemon, or at least Japan, has been playing with gender long before America. Okay, like the East, as far as, you know, Japan, Korea, all those countries, they are way more sexually progressive than the West. All right, so they've been playing around with gender for. Look at that new, like, weird, thick Shota character from the anime that's coming out this spring. Yes, I'm going to be doing a spring anime video. Hopefully I can get it out before the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? That video, like, I mean, that character is one of the examples of them playing with gender. Same thing, you look at somebody like Griffith. All right, Griffith is one of the most important anime villains of all time. Guess what? Griffith is very androgynous. Okay? All right, and Griffith totally got his cheeks clapped in the story, okay? All right, so yeah, and don't even get me started with other characters like Ed from Cowboy Bebop. You know what I'm saying? Do I have to go into the traps? Do we have to go into the traps? Like Astolfo, you know what I'm saying, from the Fate, you wanted one of the 37 different Fate shows. You know, freaking Bridget from Guilty Gear. Do you remember Bridget? All right, you remember the memes? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Japan has been playing around with sexuality for a while. All right, so is it woke? I mean, maybe you could say that, but I think it's just something that Japan tends to do. I know what you're saying. Mario, why are you getting all worked up about this? Why are you doing this video? You know that it's just Culture War Bros getting articles from other Culture War Bros written by Culture War Bros for other Culture War Bros. It is a Culture War Bros circle jerk. Yeah, I get that. But the thing is, you know, it's not just the Culture War Bros that are into this, though. Let's check out some people that actually believe this. Giving Power World all the ammo it needs to take over. Oh boy, I don't think you've seen the numbers lately, my guy. Your boys ain't doing that good. That Legends game was the best Pokemon game in 10 years.
This is crazy. You must be stupid, huh?
I'm gonna have to do that Legends Arceus video at one point, aren't I? Pokemon Company International is not the same as the Pokemon Company proper. It's a Western subsidiary with made-up DEI jobs. Doesn't matter. They should be boycotted.
Okay, now let's try to get an answer from someone who's not a complete retard.
This is kind of familiar. I feel like this sounds like another group of people that I've heard of before. You know, you don't share my socio-political beliefs, and so I think you should be punished for it. Who else did things like this? I don't know. Imagine wanting a DEI program when you're a corporation with a video game series, a trading card game, toys, and whatever under your belt that appeals to millions already. See, here's the thing. It's not really about diversity and inclusion. All right, basically, having DEI is the cost of doing business in America. Okay, if you are a company in America, they're gonna want you to have DEI. All right, especially if you are a publicly traded company, because the shareholders want that ESG money. All right, which is another reason why you should never take the IPO and become a publicly traded company. Stay private, never become a publicly traded company. Here's the thing, this only affects the Western branch of Nintendo. This will not affect the Japanese one. Can you imagine if Nintendo were to push this on Japanese kids? See, you're absolutely right about this. You know what I'm saying? It's really just the cost of doing business in America. Hopefully this changes, but you know, for right now, it is what it is. All right, just because Pokemon has a DEI unit doesn't necessarily mean that Pokemon is going woke. All right, now I will say you could be cautious, keep an eye out, but the thing is, it's really all about just trying to do business. All right, at least when it comes to the Japanese companies. All right, all these Japanese companies, American subsidiaries, have DEI units, but everything is really still controlled by the Japanese company. So it is what it is. All right, I know everybody has their biases, everybody's got their heels dug in, but just buy what you like. If you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. It is always, people. Keep it real.